Let's now head down to the charming city of Madison, Georgia, right in the heart of downtown, where a sixth-generation farming family continues to feed a longtime tradition. Madison, Georgia is well known by historians as one of the few towns that didn't burn during Sherman's march to the sea. Now, even though Sherman himself never passed through this town during the march to the sea, the left wing of his army did, and the town was spared from destruction. Some of those Civil War-era buildings remain, and right in the heart of downtown on West Jefferson Street along the railroad tracks, you'll find the place of business operated by the Godfrey family tree since the late 1870s. Once a cotton warehouse that also sold fertilizer and coal has now changed focus due to agricultural demand and has transformed into a state-of-the-art mill that produces high-quality seed and feed for farmers all over the Southeast.
Godfrey started in the 1870s. I'm the sixth generation here. Started as a cotton and coal warehouse, and my dad and uncle really turned it into what it is today, of more of a feed mill. When the boll weevil came into Georgia, a lot of the cotton farmers went out of business, and a lot of them went into the dairy business. And at that point, we transitioned from being a cotton warehouse into manufacturing dairy feed, and it's grown from there. We manufacture a lot of different feeds, anywhere from show cattle, dairy goats, dairy cattle, regular beef feed, backyard chicken feed. If you've got something to feed, we can feed it. So cattle feed mainly is based off of byproducts, and most of the byproducts are the result of some process that humans are using the grain for, and then we're using what's left over after the process. We're using corn gluten feed, we're using soy hulls, we're using hominy, we're using canola meal, soybean meal. We are opening up a retail store on the other side of town, and we've also have a second location in South Georgia in DeSoto that we're shipping feed out of now as well. So this is Terrence, and he runs this mixing room in here. He makes sure it stays clean, and he makes sure everybody gets their hand ads added correctly. As we manufacture product, it pops up on the screen exactly what hand ads he needs to put. So when we're custom mixing these feeds, we've got the 22 ingredients for the hand ads here, plus another 3 out back, plus these 2 hands right here, especially the medications, because we don't want any contamination with medications. And so we'll actually put those in by hand. And so Terrence looks after that and keeps everything steady in here.
Right.
So we bring these ingredients in from all over the East Coast and unload them here, put them overhead, mix them in our automated batching system here. So all the feed is actually made by computer. The bags come down, we sell everything in 50-pound bags, and it works its way down the system here. Where they're closed here, we've got a sewing machine. This system will do about 14 bags a minute, and we can make about a ton of feed a minute through our system. So we can run with the best of them. I think I counted it up yesterday, and there's 8 different scales that feed back into our mixing system. So that allows us to put multiple ingredients together in the mixer at one time, so we can really get the process going fast. Back here, these are our micro systems. So the computer actually controls these bins here, these motors, and weighs out our hand ads. And the hand ads would be anything that we put in there at less than 10 or 20 pounds. And so instead of having somebody there that has to physically put that product into the mixer, the computer controls all 22 of these bins and weighs those ingredients out individually, puts them together, then it's carried over it by a drag chain and put into the mixer over there. Bags up the conveyor and back here to where the robot actually is. We put the robot in 2021, and it has honestly been a lifesaver for us. It can keep up with the automated system, and it stacks them perfect every time. Well, I say perfect every time. It'll mess up every now and then.
Does it have a name?
Yes. One of my ancestors was Captain Godfrey, and the ladies here in the office named the robot Captain Godfrey. So Captain Godfrey's spitting out a pallet for us right now. The whole process is automated from you can see the pallet coming in back there. We're fixing to put a slip sheet of cardboard on top of it. It'll swing around, set it down, and then the system will go back to stacking pallets. We bag all these feeds. We kind of stage everything along this wall over here. Most of our bag feeds, when they are ordered, they're made within 24 hours of the order and then are delivered certainly within 48 hours of when the order was placed. We really pride ourselves on our customer service, and we pride ourselves on keeping these feeds fresh. When our customers get something from us, it comes from the mill and it's just been made.
The mill and feed packing machinery is fascinating in its own right. But it's also worth a visit to swing by the store and even check out the old rail depot that's been restored for business operational purposes.
The depot, that's actually the oldest brick depot in the state of Georgia, and we have some of our offices in there.
It's got to be kind of special being in the heart of the historic district here.
Well, it is. It's neat that I think this is what all the towns used to be like. You know, there was some kind of a mill, some kind of something in town that was agricultural, whether it was a cotton warehouse or feed mill or whatever. And I guess we've been fortunate enough to stick around that we're still right here in the middle of town.
What do we got here?
So this is one of the old safes that I guess we inherited, and there's all kinds of stuff. There's some of those ledgers that I was talking about in there.
Wow. A little different now.
And this is not that old. I don't know, 40 years old probably. Feed was a little bit cheaper back then. You can see that we've got a real high-tech security system on here. This is so that nobody changes the combination because nobody knows what it is anymore.
You're gonna find your keys.
This says 1874, but would that be right?
Yeah.
That's so cool. Everybody had great penmanship back then.
Yeah, what does that say, 1903, maybe?
One of the things that I think makes us unique as well is that we're in the cattle business, and most of the people work here are in agriculture and raising some kind of livestock, and so we use a lot of the products that we manufacture for our farm and sell it to other customers, and it kind of gives them a little bit more confidence in what they're doing. If it's what we're doing, it's probably what they need to be doing.
It's always fun learning how family businesses like Godfrey's prosper generation after generation. Technology changes, methods of operations drastically shift, but the drive and determination to succeed usually rises to the challenge. And the folks here at Godfrey's Feed are tried, tested, and proven at doing just that.